Okay, so everyone. Right, good morning everyone and welcome to the March meeting of WasteNet. I have sitting beside us our new manager recently appointed, Fiona. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, so welcome everybody. It's good to be here today myself. I'm Fiona Walker, so as it's been explained, I've just started. So I've come from an environmental consulting and compliance background, based in Invercargill, and looking forward to helping out with the WasteNet team.
Excellent, thank you. We have a fairly brief agenda today, so we'll make a start. So are there any apologies? So that's Ian, Orangi, and we have...
there'll be an apology from me because I may have to leave early, thanks.
Thanks, Christine. We appreciate you doing your best to join us as you can. Can I have a mover and a seconder for the apology, please? So that's from Tom, seconded by Barry. All those in favour say aye. Aye. Against, carried. Are there any conflicts of interest today from those present? Appears not. So we will go to the agenda. We have 4 items, the first of which is the confirmation of the minutes from the previous meeting. Is there any feedback in terms of the minutes? There's a number of matters that are dealt with in the minutes that come up later in the agenda. And the comments that I've got can be dealt with then. So if there's no feedback, if I could have a mover and a seconder. Again, the opposite way around, we'll do Barry moved and Tom seconded. All those in favour say aye. Aye. Carried. Thank you. Item 2, the WasteNet waste to landfill performance update. Any feedback or comments, please, from members?
Chair, may I ask, since I've only just received this, if there is anything particular in them that I should note? Aaron, a question, I guess.
Well, from my point of view, and staff might like to add to it, we've got a continuation of the lower levels of recycling that are taking place. The reasons for that could be manyfold, and it's really too early, I think, to reach a conclusion. We need some more data before that happens. That was probably the key thing that I picked up from that data. Is anything else staff want to add?
I think the key comment that I'd make is that we had a lowering trend of both waste to landfill as well as recycling weights in previous reports. And what we've seen in this report is that waste to landfill volume starting to trend back up slightly. Normally, historically, we would have expected to see that corresponding trend upwards in recycle as well. And while we have seen it trend up, not to the same extent as waste, as noted by the team, that may be a reflection of the also lowering of contamination in the recycle stream as well, and the potential for that waste education to be starting to have an impact as well. So again, only the first lot of reporting around potentially seeing that trend. We'll need to continue to monitor it and hopefully see it continue to go in the right direction. Anything to add, Annie?
It's interesting that the total contamination in the recyclables in fractions is 1/17 in the ICC area, but 1/10, 10% in the Southland District area. So there's less compliance in the wider Southland District area. Maybe that's something that needs to be targeted moving forward. So if I can have, we've got recommendations that we receive the report, note the waste to landfill data and trends, and also note the recycling data and trends. If I can have a mover and a seconder for that report, thank you. Thank you, Neville. And seconded, Tom, thank you. Item 3, waste education and communication update, which is on page 14 of the agenda. Any comments and feedback from members, please? Barry.
Do we get a lot of, like, it's got the recycled duck here. Do we get a lot of duck stuff in the contamination? We do.
Unfortunately, we do. And it's one that I probably haven't seen to the same extent in my experience in other regions in the solid waste space. We unfortunately get, particularly ducks, obviously, through the duck season, but animals in general in the recycle bin, which is a little bit disturbing, particularly for the staff who are on the sort line having to deal with that. It's not very pleasant, and definitely not recyclable.
I thought it was particularly useful under the website updates that we're moving towards people being able to check what goes in the bins, or if there's an alternative method of disposal that's available, such as the batteries. Highlighting that, it's a particularly good feature on the Otago one that I previously had dealings with. That's good to see.
It's the item search database that we are building at this stage. So once we have that up and running, it's in the phase 2 of the website. So that's going to end probably end of June. We should have that up and running, and then that feature should be made available on the website by then. Yeah.
Any other feedback from members?
Can I also add that the Waste Wander, we have booked one tour in May, and along with the Enviro Hui. So if any elected members would like to go visit, you're welcome to.
Thank you. So we have a recommendation that the report, WasteNet Education Communication Activity Update, be received. If I can have a mover and a seconder, please. Tom, move, seconded Barry. All those in favour say aye. Aye. Carried. The Waste Action Plan update on page 22. Any feedback or comments, please? Again, it's pleasing to see under the action plan for battery disposal that there have been no fires at the landfill following implementation of the recycling. Any other feedback from members, please?
Mr. Chair. Just those bin clips, and are they getting advertised where they're available? Because they're not obviously being handed out to the households, but is it just a, I guess, an advertising campaign to notify that they are?
So there are some ads out now on NZME and MediaWorks, letting public know that you can pick up these bin clips if you want to. They're not made available to everyone, but we got limited stock available, 1,000 given to STC and some here at ICC. So people are welcome to pick them up for the yellow bins.
So are they distributed around the district, or they just sit there? In
We have put them in the front desk of the councils, so people can come and pick them up from there, because everyone doesn't need a bin clip from what we came to know. So it's up to the people if they want them. They can just come and pick one up.
Just to follow up on that, if I may, yes, they're going out to the district offices and the like, Rob. So, yeah.
Right, so we've got a recommendation that the activity plan update be received. If we can have a mover and a seconder, please. Thank you. I was going to say Scott. A seconder. And Barry, thank you. So that brings us to the end of the public items on the agenda. So I'd like to move now that the public be excluded from the following parts of the meeting, namely the minutes of public excluded session held on the 19th of February and a request for funding from Recycle South on optical sorting units. And the reasons for that under the Local Government Act are set out in the agenda, referring to section 48(1) of the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act. If I can have a seconder, please. Tom, thank you. All those in favour say aye. Against? Carried. So if we turn